Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is Friday, the last day of March, and the market has actually turned up. Boy, I tell you what, I've been really lightly exposed. My trading has been not that great in the last few weeks. I was actually short coming into this, thinking that it would go lower, but it does look like because of the bank failures that are happening right now, it does look like the market is betting that we're going to be pausing probably on the rate hike. So that sent some stocks higher today. So kind of very interesting thing going on there. Um, so basically, what's going on is that we have a situation where we have moved to a confirmed uptrend, okay, from a uptrend under pressure. And what this means is basically it is a good time to kind of start coming back into the market. Now, currently today, as of today, I'm all in cash, but I'm trying to find ways to come back into the market. Basically, what the follow through day means is that we have a situation where we need to kind of start looking to see, kind of start coming back into the market, and 20 to 40% exposure is just about right. So that's one thing I want to put out there for everyone is that that's kind of the norm for this. Um, Wanted to show you the stock of the day. Interestingly, this is the IBD stock of the day, and a very interesting company. It's called AXON, and what they do, they're based in Phoenix, Arizona, and what they do is that they make the body cams that the police wear and also the tasers. Unfortunately, our society is getting more violent, and the demand for these products is going up. So this stock, Axon, AXON is the symbol for it, is more in demand, and it definitely is in the top 1% of all the stocks right now. And unfortunately, with more civil problems that we are probably going to be experiencing this summer in the United States, we're going to probably see a demand increase for their products. So their stock was up $7.15 today, with a volume up 69%. So very significant. It bounced. There was a short consolidation, and it moved above the 21-day line. I want to show you the chart. Let me see if I can pull that chart up for you here. Let's see. There we go. All right. So let's flip over to the chart, the more detailed chart here. There we go. All right. This is AXON. Um, Again, very interesting company, related to the safety area, the public safety area. So let's see if we can get that up here for everyone on TikTok so they can see it. We did move up nicely today. 224.85 was where it closed. Close actually moved to its new all-time high. Its all-time high up had been 226.90 prior to that, and it does look like it's moving even higher than that. I'm going to go look to the weekly chart, kind of show you this chart. We're almost at the all-time high for AXON. So very interesting company that is involved in the public safety arena. One of the things we want to take a look at here are some of the opportunities to see if there's an opportunity to come into it. The relative strength on this one, and of course, what the relative strength is a measure of, is it's a measure of this stock versus the rest of the market. It's in a 98 on the relative strength. That means it's in the top 2% currently of all stocks in the market. So very, very interesting. Heavy interest by funds. We have 706 funds that are basically invested in this stock. So real interesting. Does have a relatively high PE ratio of 99. That typically says, well, we don't have the earnings now, but in the future, we are anticipating better earnings. So that's kind of what's going on here. They just came through their last quarter. The December quarter is the last quarter to report. Their sales were up 54% quarter to quarter, and we also had a 52% increase in the profits. So pretty interesting company, AXON. And let's see if we can get a buy point for you here. Let's see if we can do that using my little AI tool, which is kind of cool, actually. I'm learning more and more about this AI tool. For years, I had to draw all the charts myself, and it was difficult. But there's a cup with handle formation, and it does look like the pivot was 189.62. So we're above the pivot by about 19%. What that means, of course, is that normally when we're above the pivot and we're not buying right at the pivot, we want to buy as close. The secondary buy point is the 21-day exponential. So let's see how close AXON is with this gap up today. We may be extended. No, we're not extended. So this one is absolutely buyable here. Interestingly enough, the normally if it's more than 5% extended over the 21-day exponential line, if you're looking on the chart here, you can see it. It's a green line that so it's only 4.83% above it. So this is actually a good buy point here, believe it or not, for this stock. So we definitely could buy this. Now, I would wait on Monday if you're going to look at this stock potentially as one to buy. You want to wait basically in the first hour because typically it'll pull up in the first hour and then it'll pull down. As you probably have heard before, the first hour of trading in the New York Stock Exchange typically is called the amateur hour. So don't be an amateur here. Try to get something that that trades well. So this is interesting stock. You might want to put this one down on your you might want to put this one down on your list. It's AXON, and the 21-day line is at 214 214.28. So that's going to give us that's going to give us an interesting place to buy it. So with Axon, what we'll probably want to do here is if you're interested in the stock on Monday, uh, obviously it's above the buy point. The 21-day line is 214.28. And it's pulled back to 224. But this is actually, we're in a range where this one could be bought. So real interesting stock here, AXON. It's the stock of the day for the IBD, Investors Business Daily, and it's also on my list of stocks on the move. So I want to show you a few of these stocks here. Let's see what the comments are. We'll get to the. Thanks everybody for jumping in on this one, Sandy. Appreciate it. I'm going to go through just a few more stocks that are on the move that might give us some entries, and then kind of go from there. So, by the way, if you're watching on TikTok, it's very easy to see all the charts and everything that I'm seeing. I can't show you all of this on TikTok just based on the constraints on the platform, but if you jump on over to if you jump on over to youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor, all one word, you'll be able to see the live show that we're doing right now. So that might work for you. Okay, let's get to the second. Let's get to the second one on the list for our for our stocks on the move today. Let's go over to that. Okay. There we go. So the second stock really that is on the move here today is Granite Construction. And Granite Construction, of course, is based in Watsonville, California. I used to live very near there. It's in the Bay Area of California. Well, it's right outside the Bay Area of California, but it's a very large, heavy construction company. They do a lot of work with roads and that kind of thing. And with the floods that have happened in California in the last few weeks, there's going to be a lot of repair work that Granite will get from this. Also, other parts of the country too, but especially in this area. Interesting stock. So let's take a look at the chart for it. Here we go with this. Oh, this is not the chart for. Let's get the right chart here. GVA is the symbol on that one. So I gave you the wrong one. GVA. That's the chart for Granite Construction. There we go. So here's Granite. And I've drawn a reversal line here. It's the the best in this kind of market, the best place to buy a stock. Obviously, you want a strong relative strength stock. This one's definitely has it at 93. This stock has a very strong relative strength at 93. So it's in the top 7% of the stocks currently, and it's moving up. Now, if it moves above this little black dotted line that I put in here, that's the reversal line. And that's basically right now, at least in this kind of market, that's the place you want to be looking to buy a stock like this. You want it to pull back, and then as it's reversing, that's where you want to buy it. So I've drawn the reversal line in here. The reversal line is a little bit above of where we are. We haven't quite gone from a downtrend to an uptrend, but it's starting to look very, very good. Let's kind of take a look at this at the particulars on this one to see. We are basically we were basically right at the 21-day line. Now, we've done studies on this. Most of the best places that to buy typically is on a pullback to the 21-day line in this kind of market. So we're almost right at the 21-day line on this stock at 40.87. 40.87 is where the 21-day line is for Granite Construction. So let's put that up there on the screen so everyone can see it. Hopefully you can see this. I know that you can definitely see it um, on uh, on the live stream on YouTube and Instagram, but I'm not sure that you can see it on TikTok. So here, let me show you this one. This is GVA, and the 21-day line is equal to, let's get that right, 40.87. Put that up there on the screen. There we go. So with the with this stock, GVA, Granite Construction, we're a little bit above the 21-day line here, but just slightly. I'm sorry, we're a little bit below it. Currently, the stock is trading at in the after hours 41.08, but it is buyable. Basically, the 21-day is 40.87. So we could definitely buy this in the after hours. Now, again, we want to be very careful and not buy this right as the market opens on Monday. Don't want to do that. We want to wait about an hour or so, because typically the orders from overnight will clear out in that first hour. So we want to be very, very careful and in that first hour and not necessarily access that, not access the buy here. But GVA, Granite Construction, the 21-day line, 40.87. So within 5% of that line, that's where I think that you might find a very, very nice entry point there on that. Okay, well let's take a look at the next one. I know I'm kind of going fast here, but hopefully this will work out here. The next one is interesting stock. It's called Skyline Champion, and this is one of the ones that Warren Buffett has a lot of has a lot of it. I suspect this one will become a private company of Berkshire Hathaway in the near future. Now, what does Skyline Champion do? Well, Skyline Champion is one of the largest manufacturers of mobile homes in the nation. Here's what's happening in the home construction business in the future, because of lower overall wages, unfortunately, and I mean, I hate to report this, there's going to be more demand for mobile homes than ever before. Stick-built homes are just too expensive for many people. Stick-built homes, of course, the average price in the United States of a stick-built home basically is almost 300,000. It's about 290, depending on where you are. So stick-built homes, very, very tough to buy now. But manufactured homes or mobile homes, those are more affordable. Now, here's the problem with mobile homes. The problem with mobile homes, of course, is that there's no place to put them. Most of the mobile home parks were built in the 1960s and 70s that are close to metropolitan areas. And most metropolitan areas do not want these close to their locations. Why? Because, well, quite frankly, this is the best form of affordable housing, but towns do not want it because it puts more burden on the taxes. And they basically, most towns look at it and they are really not very friendly to affordable housing. They talk a lot about it, but really they don't do anything about it. If we wanted to solve, we could solve the mobile home, we could solve the affordable housing problem in this country very, very quickly if we allowed more mobile home parks to be built, but that's not very likely. That is a constraint on this stock. That said, Warren Buffett is a huge investor in it. As you can see, there's been tremendous there's been a tremendous spike in volume of buying of this home. I do believe that this is going to become increasingly an alternative to stick-built homes. Now they do have models that are permanently attached. It depends on the zoning in the areas, but the future is very, very bright for a company called Skyline Champion. Part of the reason also is that there is a new mortgage company basically funded by Berkshire Hathaway that allows mortgages on these properties. So very interesting developments in the manufactured home industry. Here's the thing: we're a little bit extended here. If we look at the 21-day line, and that's the best place typically to buy a stock like this, we are extended above that 21-day line. Currently, the 21-day line is at 68.34, and so we're right above that. So right now, probably not the best. We want to see if this thing pulls back or not. It is still buyable. Let's take a look at the weekly chart here to see and how close we are with that weekly chart. Now we're almost at an all-time high for the stock. If you can look at it here. And by the way, this is an interesting fact that I want to pass along to a lot of people. Most people have heard the adage buy low, sell high. Well, that's a problem because typically a stock will have most of its performance within a very short period of its life, maybe 20% of it. So a better strategy, especially in a market that's turning, is buy high, sell higher. So we want to look at stocks that are basically within 15% of their all-time high. And that's definitely the case with Skyline Champion. The relative strength on this one, that's the strength of this stock against the rest of the market, is 96, which means that it's in the top 4% currently of all stocks out there. Now, it looks like do some fundamental analysis on this one. And here we go. The last quarter, the sales were up 9%, excuse me, and the profits, and this is the key, were up 22%. In the home building industry, this is kind of interesting, kind of amazing. The manufactured home industry now is moving up significantly. I suspect we're going to get a bifurcation in the home market where the regular builders like D.R. Horton, they're going to be under more pressure, and the manufactured builders like Skyline Champion are going to do better primarily because of price. People have just, the middle and lower class in this country basically is largely priced out of the home market. So this is a solution for that, and definitely popular with Warren Buffett. Now, again, is where can we buy this? Let's take a look at the pattern reckoner here, and we are basically right below the pivot. It's a consolidation pattern. This is not one of the better patterns, but it's still acceptable as what they call a base pattern in canned slim trading, which I definitely follow, and you should too. It's about 8% below that pivot. So right now, the buy point on this one is 81.87. Currently, we're at 75.23. So this may be a little bit early to buy this, but definitely in this kind of market, we want to be buying. We want to be buying on the breakouts, and we want to be buying in this kind of area. So not a bad place to buy this one at the 21-day line. So let's take a look and see what that 21-day line is. And I want to put that up there for everyone. Okay, 21-day line. Make sure I can get this up. There we go. All right, 21-day line on this one, 69. 36. So it's 69.34. So let's put in that. So the 21-day for SKY, which is Skyline Champion, 21-day line equals 69.34. All right, there we go. All right. I'll put that up there for everyone so they can see it. So basically, what's going on is again, there we go. The 21-day line for Skyline Champion is 69.34. Currently, the stock is at 75.23. Now, we possibly could start a position here. But it would be a little bit risky. So probably wait for this to pull back a little bit. Skyline Champion, definitely something that you want to take a look at. All right, let's take a question from TikTok. Thanks for everybody for being so patient. Let's look at this one. Is more of a. Oh, by the way, I wanted to tell you a stock that I was trading 2 years ago. I did very well on. It looks like it's going to go bankrupt, and that's Virgin Galactic. Again, this is why we got to be super careful when we're trading, because it's like some stocks are just they trade for a while, and then it's sayonara, and that's definitely the case with with Virgin Galactic, because they are out of money, and it does look like it's going to be bad news for them. But another stock that's in the AI area. Now, this is kind of I don't really put this in the same category with Virgin Galactic, because they do have some good backing, and I think AI has a better future, quite frankly, than some of these underfunded space programs, private space programs. So this one's very interesting. It was up significantly today. So let's take a look at it on the screen. I know it's kind of a favorite of everybody. I win this thing. I have traded this one. I haven't traded it lately. But and one of the things that good on it is that we're starting to get relative strength. It's got 99 relative strength, which is excellent. It's in the top 1%, and it's up. So the question is, can we buy this thing? Now, this is a much more speculative stock. I just want to put it out there for everyone. This is definitely buyable. Okay, I'm not saying that it's not buyable, but we have to be very, very careful when you buy this stock. If you buy this stock, you want to set that stop loss up extremely quickly, because this has a big opportunity to pull back. Now, here's the problem. This stock is what they call extended. Currently, this stock is 35% above the 21-day line. So if you were to buy this stock, and I'm not buying this stock, part of the reason I'm not doing it, you can see I did it in the past. Back in February, I did take a position, but I basically just wrote it up as it moved over the 200 as it moved over the 200-day line. I did own this one briefly, and as you can see, there it is on the 28th. I did own it, and we moved above that 21-day line. I took my profits extremely quickly on this one, knowing that it's really, this kind of stock is really a it's essentially a meme stock. So you're not gonna. This is a speculative stock, so we won't want to be very heavy in this one. But interesting stock. I probably wouldn't buy it here. Let's see, Shamlock Shan. I wouldn't buy this one here, Shamlock Shan. Why? Because it's way above the 21-day line. I think you just got to wait for it to pull back. If it pulls back, I think that we're going to get some better action on it. So let's take a question from YouTube. Thank you for waiting. Sandeep, always like to hear from you. Thanks for taking a look at my show. Always appreciate it when you do. Let's look at Sandeep is interested in Boeing. The symbol on this one is BA, of course. And for many years, Boeing was the largest exporter, U.S. exporter. They exported more in terms of dollars than any other company in the manufacturer in the United States. Right now, they're seeing an uptick, of course, unfortunately, in their in the stocks in the equipment that is related to armaments. They're doing quite well in armaments. About 50% or more now of Boeing's business is in weapons. So that's where the weapon systems is where they're starting to ring the cash register at Boeing. Here's the problem. Here's the thing with Boeing. It pulled way back. Now, I owned it, I haven't owned it in a while, but I owned it way back here last year at about 117. It's currently 212. I should drink my own Kool-Aid and not take my profits so quickly, but I've been it has been moving ever higher, and it's above 200 right now. So that indeed is a good thing. The question is, can we buy it here? And that's really the question. That's really the question that we're looking at. I do believe we can, and the reason why is we are in an upward trend. The relative strength of this is 93, which is an extremely strong relative strength, given that it's such a large company. It is buyable here. The 21-day line on Boeing is is 205. We're currently at 212, so they're only 3% above that 21-day line in an upward trend. So this might not be a bad addition, believe it or not. I don't own Boeing, but looking at this chart tells me that it's starting to make headway. So you can definitely buy Boeing at this level. I think it's a good entry. Now, here's the thing: if you do buy this, you want to place your stop loss right at the 21-day line, because if more than likely, if it pulls back, it's going to pull back to that 21-day line, and if it moves below that 21-day line when it pulls back, that's where it might reverse and move lower. So, not exactly an easy pattern to trade, but I do believe that it is buyable at this level. After hours price on Boeing 212.30. So not a bad price here for Boeing, and definitely want to take a look further at that one. But definitely buyable right now. Uh, the um, uh, the uh, the 21-day line for Boeing is 205. BA 21-day line equals 205, and there you go. So let's put that in there so everyone can see it. Oops, that's excellent. Okay, that's the 21-day line for Boeing is at about 205. That's kind of where that's kind of where we're headed. BA's 205 is about 205 currently. The close after hours 212. So we're within 3% of that 21. Within 3% of the 21-day line. Good place to buy the stock. And if you do buy the stock, you want to put your stop loss right about 200. That should work very, very well. All right, let's take a look at some other people that are waiting here. Thanks, Charles. I hope you enjoyed. Oh, there we go. Options meeting tomorrow. Yes, been a couple of reminders. Oh, thank you, Charles. This is the options mastery course that my friend in Australia is doing. Gavin McMaster. He's actually a columnist for Investor Business Daily. That you should be able. You should have gotten the credentials for that. Here's the problem: when he says the 31st, actually it's on the 30th here. Why? Because Australia starts the day, and we ended up. So it was 12 hours difference. He's actually doing the course from Melbourne, Australia, and you will see it there. So that is kind of what's going on. If you need more, if you need more, I can get with you and get you situated with that course. So thank you very, very much. All right, let's look at DOCN. This is let's go back to the list of stocks on the move. See if I can get. Yeah, this is DigitalOcean. I told this is a good stock to look at as well. This is on my list of stocks that are really starting to make a move. DigitalOcean, DOCN is the symbol, and this is for Charles. Thank you so much for bringing this one up. I was going to talk about this one, so so there you go. Okay, we had some very nice spike up on the volume here. Very nice spike up on the volume. Unfortunately, I don't own this one. I wish I did, because it's looking good. Now, it's a little extended. The 21-day line is at 35. So currently at the price of 39.15, we're about 11.9% above that 21-day line. So this is not an ideal, unfortunately, place to buy it. But I want to go to the 60-minute chart to see if there's any kind of opening here. Here's what I would do on this one. It does look like there is some resistance on. There's some floor at about 36.95. So 36.95 on DigitalOcean would be an ideal place to buy it. So here's what I would do on this stock. I do like this stock a lot. I would put in a limit order to buy this on a pullback at about 37 or so. That's right here. Oop, put that temporary line in there so you can see it. There we go. So here's the temporary line. 37 is essentially where the pullback I think on DigitalOcean would be to. So we probably want to put a limit order in if we want to buy this, maybe a half a position to start DigitalOcean at 37. So that's not a bad place to buy it there as well. Great question. Thank you so much. And by the way, everybody, I think there may be still time to get in on the options mastery course. I'm going to have some more information hopefully on Monday talking about the offer. We may be able to get you in. I don't know if there's any more space. It pretty much sold out. But I got to talk to Gavin to see if there's any more space on this because we have a limitation. It's done by Zoom and there's a limitation on number of seats on the course. So I want to make sure that we might have some extra seats here coming up. I don't, and we'll see if that's available. I'll find out about that and get back to you. Try to get back to everybody by Monday. By the way, if you're not, the way I communicate basically on these kind of things is that I communicate through the action trade list, and basically that's an easy thing to get on. It's free, by the way. So if you want to get onto our action trade alerts list, you just go to www.dallastradingfloor.com and first and last name and an email address, and we'll get you on that list. And we have from time to time, like with this options mastery course, we have offers on that. So good thing to do on that as well. So kind of cool on that. All right, let's get back to TikTok here. Thoughts on natural gas. This is an interesting question on what's going on with natural gas. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the chart for natural gas. As you know, natural gas is a strange commodity in that it is not as fungible as oil. Oil can be transported pretty much any place in the world, whereas natural gas, not so much. It really has to either have a pipeline or a liquefaction plant. So it's not as fungible. Let's see if I can get that up. Let's see, natural gas. This is G. No, that's S&P. Zero nat. Let's see. Up and down. New issues. I'm not bringing it up on my screen. Nope, it's tech. Hmm. Yeah, look at that, stealth gas. Nope, I cannot get it. I can't get it up on that one. So I'm gonna have to skip that. Unfortunately, I can't get up my index, my natural gas index on that. What to buy if I had 10K? Boy, that's a good question. You know what? Here's the thing. There is a strategy that you can use if you only have 10K. I say only that that's a lot of money. But if you only have 10K, you really need to kind of protect your capital. That's the most important thing, especially in this market. Now, with this market, we have just moved from up to a confirmed uptrend, and in that case, we probably should be buying something like the QQQ. And let's take a look at the QQQ real quick to see. Now, I wouldn't put right now in this kind of market. I think cash is a good place to be. We only want to be about 20 to 40% exposed to this market currently because it's very volatile, and we have a problem with the bank. So not a time to be hugely exposed to the market. That's why I'm trying to show you opportunities. Now, here's one thing that a way you can get exposure to the market relatively safely, and that's with this thing called the Invesco QQQ Trust, and that is the top 100 stocks on the Nasdaq. So as long as we're in a confirmed uptrend like we just moved to on Thursday, then this is definitely one that we could definitely take a look at. It's up today and it's up after hours. So this one might be a place to park some capital. It's $321.18 a share. So interesting way to go. So that's what I would recommend if I had $10,000. Now I wouldn't invest the entire 10,000. I'd only invest 20% of that right now, and that would be $2,000. So that would give us about that would give us about 6 to 8 shares of the QQQ Trust. So interesting stock, good play to play. That's how I would play right now. I wouldn't give up all my cash. We want to be heavy on cash right now because the market is just definitely definitely there. All right. Okay. Charles, options class. Okay. Oh, we missed it. Okay. All right. Let's look at Datadog. Now, Datadog was a favorite, and I actually traded Datadog a little bit back about 2 years ago. The problem is a lot of the stocks that we traded 2 years ago, there's been kind of a rotation in, and it's not quite what it was. Now the question is, would I trade this thing right now? Well, no. And the reason I wouldn't trade this one, Jeet, is that it's below that 200-day line. It only has a 14 relative strength. That means, of course, that we have 86% of the stock market doing better than Datadog. So I just wouldn't trade it. I only want to be trading. I want to do Pareto's law here. I want to be in the top 20% of all the market. I don't want to be trading below that. Why? Because 80% of the gains are going to be made from the top 20% in the market. So we want to always try to trade 80%, 80 relative strength or better in the market, because that gives us the best chance for advancement. Now, Pareto's law is very interesting. This is what sometimes is referred to as the 80-20 rule, in that 80% of the gains in a market will be made in the top 20% of the stocks. That's why the universe of stocks that we want to look at is in the top 80%. So we want relative strength 80 or better. So that's one of my trading rules that you might be interested in. All right, take one more stock on the move before we go, and this one is interesting stock. Normally, I don't trade agricultural stocks, I'll be honest with you, but the price of eggs, as you all know, has gone up hugely. Hugely. I don't think that's a real word. There is a company called Calm, CALM is the symbol for it, and they are the largest egg producer in the world, and they are doing extremely well, as you might well imagine. They moved up. They moved above the reversal line. I put the reversal line in there for everyone so you can see. They came down. They touched the 200-day moving average. Then they bounced. They came up to this reversal line, moved up, and now they're above this reversal line. So usually third time is the charm. Here we go. Relative strength on this one is 84. So top 16% up after hours. It's $60.99 is the share price on this one. It's looking pretty darn good on the pattern recognition. Let's see. We're basically 7% below the pivot. It's a consolidation pivot. The pivot is at 65.32. So if we were going to get into a stock, this might not be a bad place. Let's see if we've got a good entry. And what I'm going to go is I'm going to look at the technicals here. We are a little bit extended. We're 8% above that 21-day line. So we could still potentially make a move here and get in. But I would wait on this one. We've been up 3 days in a row. We'll probably get a little bit of pullback on the Monday, and then we can possibly go into this. Calm is the name of the stock, and probably not a stock that you're too familiar with. I wasn't familiar with it at all until I started looking at the chart. But Calm Main Foods, and the symbol is CALM. That is the symbol on it. So let's put that up there for everyone can see. Calmain Foods, interesting stock and definitely actionable. Okay, everybody, thank you very much. I'm going to be back on Monday, of course, at 5, hopefully. Sometimes I say I'm going to be back and I don't make the show. I'm doing something else, sleeping, doing something like that. But I'll be back on Monday, and I hope everyone is going to have a great weekend. I know I'm going to try to. It's warming up here in Dallas, so I'm really liking that. And I will be back on Monday at 5. Everybody, happy trading.